Hey, it's Okie Dingo. So this week's video is going to be the full review of the Sony back button attachment. But first I have to say thank you to everybody that viewed my unboxing video as well as subscribed because of it. You guys are absolutely amazing. You're just blowing my channel up. So on that video, there was a lot of questions asked in the comment section and I answered as many as I could. And in this video, we're going to explore a lot of those questions because they were really good, as well as compare this Sony back button attachment to the Strike Pack, and then we'll show some gameplay with it. So let's get into the full review. Okay, so for anybody that didn't see my unboxing video, this is the Sony back button attachment. There is the model code. Right here is like a really soft rubber, which is going to protect the controller from getting scratched if you're taking this on and off. On the back side, we have the two buttons, and this is the OLED screen, which won't light up until it is actually attached to the controller because it doesn't have its own battery. So it doesn't need to be charged. It just runs off of the controller itself. So this is the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack pass-through. So what that means is that anything that worked with your controller before is still going to work because it just passes through to this headphone jack that sits on the bottom of the attachment. And this right here is the connector that passes all the data from your inputs from the attachment through the controller. All right, so I will show it being put on. Make sure that the controller is off. You just put it underneath, put that headphone jack in, and then you just kind of push upwards and in at the same time, and it should go straight on. All right, so then you can turn on your controller, and you should be welcomed by the Sony symbols, or PlayStation symbols rather. So if you do a single click, you're going to go to the first profile. If you double click, you'll go to the second profile. Double click again, you'll go to the third. Again, and you'll go back to the first profile. So if you hold down, you're going to get this. This is the assign mode. And now you can go through each of the 16 button assignments. It's actually 15 with no assignment being the 16th one, which is right there. And then back. So if you want to assign it, you just click here, or you can just wait. It's obviously a lot quicker to just click the button. So I got asked a lot who this is for. So normally these are for people that play first-person shooters like Apex, Fortnite, like Destiny, because you can jump without taking your fingers off of the sticks. So normally you would have to jump and then come back. So with this, you can just click these while you're shooting, or you can also slide or whatnot. So these are also really great for people that play action RPGs like Sekiro, Dark Souls, the new Star Wars game, because you can assign one of these paddles or buttons to something like a health pack or item use. So then you can just be going and just have to do it instead of having to use the D-pad or whatnot to do that. So this attachment works on PlayStation 4 and PC. So that got asked a lot if it was compatible with PC, which it absolutely is. I tested it in Destiny 2, Apex, and Fortnite, and it worked fine. There was also a couple other PC games I used, which were Wreckfest, which is a driving game, and it worked absolutely fine. So I tried it wireless, and games that supported the Dualshock for wireless, it worked fine. Like the Wreckfest worked. Destiny 2 did not work, but it doesn't work with or without the attachment wireless, so it's no different. So if the game supports DualShock, it's going to work. All right, so now I'm going to compare this with the Strike Pack. So if you see where these sit, it looks really bulky, and I had mentioned that in the unboxing that it was bulky, but it actually isn't. Once you use it for a little bit and get used to it, it's really, really comfortable. It feels pretty natural to the controller. So any controller that has these paddles, they're all different and they're all going to feel a little bit different. So here is the Strike Pack. So if you notice the Strike Pack paddles, they sit on these sides right here. So you press with your fingertips to do actions, and they have a little bit more of an affirmative click to them. If you notice that. So where the Sony attachment, it's a little bit softer feeling than the Strike Pack. So I like the Strike Pack. I've had it for a while. I think it's great. However, the Strike Pack, you have to be wired for it to work. Where this attachment, you can be wireless. So I think that's one of the big selling points for people that have a Strike Pack currently, or they don't have paddles at all. For $30, I think it's a really good investment to get these so you can play wireless, or so you can actually have the convenience of having paddles on the back of the controller. So, yeah, let's get into some gameplay. I'll show you how it works. In my experience, over the last, I think about 5 days of using this thing, it has been absolutely flawless. Every game I've used it in, there's no lag. It's worked absolutely perfect. So, yeah, all right, I'm going to show you out in a little bit of Apex. All right, so I have Apex Legends loaded up on my PS4, and I'm going to show you a little bit of gameplay with the Sony back button attachment. So full disclosure, I am by no means a top-tier first-person shooter gamer. I do enjoy playing them with friends. I enjoy playing by myself sometimes, but I'm average. But I still think that an attachment like this or the Strike Pack is still beneficial for somebody like myself, especially since I do like RPG games and action RPGs, where you can get a lot of benefit out of these. So first I'm going to show you that there is no lag. So here's me pushing X. You see he's jumping. And here's the paddle. It is 100% the same. So however it feels when you push this, it's going to feel exactly the same. So as you can see, you can jump without ever having to take your hand off of this look stick. So normally you would have to press the jump and then go back to whatever you were doing. Where this one, if I'm focused on this guy right here, I can jump and shoot, and it's going to make me harder to hit. And I don't have to keep taking my finger off of the look stick to go back, if you see, like that. So instead, I can just focus on him and just keep it where it needs to be. So yeah, there has been a lot of questions about the battery life. In the testing I've done over the last 5 days, I haven't really noticed much of a battery life drain. If there is any, it's very, very minimal. Like I said, I really don't notice it. So the Dualshock 4 has, I think, a 6 to 8 hour battery life. And for me, I could play a whole session and I was still fine. I could just charge it after that. I haven't experienced where it felt like it ran out faster than it normally does. So, all right, I'm going to move over now to the PC and just show a little bit of Fortnite on the PC. All right, so as you can see, I'm on Fortnite on a Windows computer. My DualShock 4 is connected wired to the PC. The Sony back button attachment is on the DualShock 4, and if you push it, you can tell, yep, it's working. So let me just show you some tests, show you there's no lag. As you see, when I push the back button, it responses. Let me push the X or cross, whatever you want to call it. And as you can tell, it's exactly the same. There's no lag. Now I have this one mapped to O or circle. And as you can tell, it is exactly the same. So this Sony back button attachment works perfectly if you're on PC, if you're on PlayStation 4. There's no lag. It just does what it's supposed to do. So, all right, I'm going to wrap this video up by doing some final thoughts. So let's get into it. Okay, so as you should have been able to tell from the video, the Sony back button attachment does exactly what it's supposed to do. It remaps the face buttons, the stick buttons, and the triggers over to the back button attachment, or paddles if that's what you'd like to call them. And it does it flawlessly, in my opinion. There's been zero lag. It's worked great on PS4 and it's worked great on PC. So a couple of the people had commented that you should just get a scuff or that scuff is better. So I've had a series of scuffs and every single one that I've gotten has had some serious issues. And all of them arrived that way straight from scuff. They arrived broken. So I would never recommend a scuff to somebody, especially for the price. So $150 to $200 versus this attachment that's $30. That's a real big difference. You're not really comparing like items. So the better comparison is with the Strike Pack. So the Strike Pack is a little bit under $40 US, and this one is $30. So the real main difference is the paddle placements, and that the Strike Pack has to be wired, where this attachment is wireless. The Strike Pack also has a mod feature which I've never bought into it, so I really can't comment on it. But what I can tell you is that I prefer to play wireless, so the Sony back button attachment is the one that I prefer. So the placement of the paddles is obviously different, but you're just going to have to get used to it. And every custom controller, every third-party, attachment, they're all going to have paddles in a different place, and it just takes a couple games, and then you'll be fine with it. So, in my opinion, I think this is well worth the $30. It does what it's supposed to do. It does it great. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really, really appreciate all the love on the unboxing video that I did for this. So please, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to bring you guys a ton of more great content. Also, I was thinking about doing a walkthrough of one of the Japanese gaming stores that I have locally. So let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in. All right, see you guys later. Thanks a lot. Bye.